Hey guys, what's going on? It's night time, fire time. Come on, real quick. I'm gonna try to keep on a little bit. I was gonna do long, but I had something come up and with work, and I couldn't do long. But I'm gonna still get some out, and I'll do the long ones tomorrow night. But I wanted to go over a few things because there's a lot of stuff coming out, kind of new in the Sebastian Rogers case. Remember, allegedly, these are my opinions, my theories, my speculations, my free speech. All totally me, all alleged big bubble. Don't take this as fact. Do your own research, right? Don't trust me on it. Trust whatever you can find out there. That's where I get my information too. I have some inside sources, but not a whole lot. So I have to get what I can get, right? Anyway, trigger warning too. This is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Was 15 when he went missing, February 26th, 2024. Last seen at his home by his mother, Katie Proudfoot, on the night of the February 25th, after the dinner at the Roadhouse. He took out the trash, went to bed at 9, then she said went to bed at 10, and she said heard a thud at 10 or 9 or 10, and the lies just kept coming. The story kept growing, so we really don't know the truth here. We just know that they reported him missing at 6:33 a.m. on February 26th. It's a long, drawn out mess, basically, and there's just so many lies and so much CPS involved in getting beat with a belt and trigger warning, like I said, times 100 million, and by the stepfather. And the bio father lived in Clarksville, a little down the road, an hour plus, whatever. So he wasn't there. Went with him on, I guess, first, third, and fifth weekend, I think is what they said, something like that. Every other weekend or his weekends or whatever, however they worked it out. He said the last time he dropped Sebastian off at home, Sebastian didn't want to go. Probably there was a reason why, I'm sure, I'm assuming it was probably because of the CPS stuff and all the stuff coming out when in the abuse of the stepfather, beating him with belts and everything else, and then trying to lie about it and then telling the truth about it, and then still not telling everybody what CPS was there for other than lies, like on Nancy Grace and every other show he's been on. It's all lies. Going on YouTube channels, acting like Sling Blade, acting like a fool. Never got off his ass and searched till 10 months plus. So there's no credit here from me. You're not getting credit for me for searching. Sorry. It's just not going to happen. But should have searched in the beginning. You should have let the dog search. You should have allowed these things to happen instead of kicking everybody off of your property that's in your wife's name and acting like you're the big shot, right? Trying to cover your own butt the whole time, saying you took polygraph tests, y'all all passed, y'all all cleared, never been cleared, supposedly never even taken a test. We know Katie did. We don't know if she passed or failed. They're not going to tell us that. They're saving that. They might have told her she passed, but I don't think she did. Now, I really don't think she did, the more that I think about it. It's just not a peep of him. He vanished. Clearly vanished in thin air. Just poof. And there's a flashlight video, Tinkerbell video I call it, floating out there where it looks like suspect 1, suspect 2 met in the middle, parked down the road a good ways, caught on security camera. Shout out to the security camera. I think it got the one and only big main clue in this whole case. Suspect 1 and 2, then you see the one suspect come back to the house, looks like straight back in the backyard, straight up the alleyway, breezeway, whatever you want to call that thing, and right back to that house. And that was around 3:10, 3:30 in the morning, somewhere around in there. Trash truck came at 5:09 to 5:12. Stepfather said he tried to debunk the flashlight video in the very beginning, saying, the state law enforcement, local law enforcement, sheriff's office, the FBI, everybody looked at that clip and, sorry guys, it's nothing. It's just a trash truck. And then as everybody started digging on it and figuring out where it was and lining things up and trying to do the math and do the angles, we come up with a way different story, right? Everybody now saying 2 flashlights, 2 lanterns, whatever it may be, To me, I believe that was Katie taking Kathy out to the car for Terry to pick her up, because Terry just came back from Memphis, where he had sat at Trish's trailer while Chris came in, met Katie somewhere. They did what they did. Chris went back, scared to fall asleep, jumped in the crane early for the first time in the history, and then called the law on three-way. The mom left the house that morning before they called the law, drove around supposedly by the school, drove around over here, over there, by the school. It was too late. He was already, never said what it was. We wish we would have known. She didn't spit it all out. She almost did. Now we look at so many things, and one of the main things going around now is the stepfather, of course, which he said it more than once, I believe. Here we go, right? I think he said it a couple of times in different interviews, like, well, here we go. Like, okay, it's time to start executing the plan. Let's get it right. Don't mess up. Don't make me cough more than once, right? When she messed up, it's just so many lies, so many BS stories. And then to me, the main focus of it all is, of course, the court. Because he's had 5 wives, 6 wives, 8 wives. I don't even know how many. More than I can count, probably. So we know that one of them spoke up because there's custody battle with Faith, the child, that he's probably beat her too, supposedly, and beat the other kids that were stepkids again. So it's just a recurring pattern. It's history. He's an abuser. He likes to beat on kids because he's not man enough to stand up to somebody else. He's a coward in my book. Of course, it's just my opinion, right? And I feel that one day the truth's going to come out. I think they're behind the doors. They're about to get tagged. I really do. I think the cuffs are going to fly, and it's going to be a bunch of BS. But everybody don't get your hopes up, because remember, they're both military. Prior military, whatever. So we're not going to see anything of the court. It's going to be closed off, no cameras, no nothing. I don't care how big this case is. It will not be televised or anything like that. Now, the one with the 2 other bears, the stinky bears, yeah, theirs will be. So I believe it's 4 of them. I think they covered it up. I think that grandma did not want to lose Faith and the chance of not getting to be around her granddaughter. I think it was too important to her. We know she had already tried so hard to get that child from that mother, which, thank God, it didn't work. But I'm so thankful that it didn't work, because she'd probably be missing too. I felt like they were starving this child. There were so many things. I think they were locking the refrigerator. I think they were locking the snacks. That's why he was having to get up in the middle of the night. He was so hungry. He was hiding snacks in his room. I think Christopher Prophet was just very mean to this child. And it's sad. It's heartbreaking. We need some kind of answer somewhere. Something has to pop. We have a puzzle built, right? We just don't have those few little pieces that fill in the middle, right? And that's what everybody's trying to find. And the more we dig on these old interviews, like I told y'all 2.5, 3 months ago, when I first started my channel, when you watch these old clips and you listen to these people like Peter Hyatt and Pat Brown, and you realize that these people have been doing this their whole life, what they break down, go back and watch those from the beginning of this. Everything is painted a picture, right? And now it's all coming together. From the landfill search, which haunts me to this day, because that's not easy to get a warrant for. And you had to have something really solid for them to give you that warrant. And then for him to come out and make the statement of, we're very disappointed in the outcome of this search. We wanted closure. I feel that holds a big key to something. They have something on video somewhere that led them to believe that this child was in that landfill. And that makes it very heartbreaking. And that's why a lot of people from day one have thought that he's not with us anymore. And it sucks. It does suck. He still needs to be found no matter what. I pray to God we're all wrong and he's alive. I pray that more than anything. And I hope to God he's alive. I really do. I just feel like I don't know how they have not been able to put enough together. They have enough on Step Bear to arrest him. CPS reports have enough. The witness that was going to testify against Christopher Proudfoot in that CPS report vanishes right before court. There's a reason for that. That's the main reason of why he vanished, was because of the court. And they're not smart enough, I guess, or they may be doing this behind closed doors. I'm sure they might be. I take that back. I think they are doing something. I think they have so much more. I think that's why Chris is trying to cover the Wi-Fi ping now in his truck. I think they busted him. I think they know that poker party, all that stuff. They know he was there. They know he was staying down the road. They know he was probably using his cousin's vehicle to go over there. We know he was parking at the construction site to go over there. That's why I think those dogs went there. He's probably been parking there. So there's so much out there to work with. So many videos now, so many screenshots, clips, all kinds of stuff. Like all the taunting from day one, all the he's smarter than anybody, he'll never be found. All these comments that he makes all have meaning. All of them have meaning. They're guilty in my book. And of course, that's just my opinion. But my opinion is them two and the other two are guilty. The four bears are guilty. And the here we go is a really good thing to bring up. I think it's been talked about once or twice, I think, before. I think News Nation actually talked about it a while back. But shout out to Vinny. You know, that is a really, prosecutors, people like that look for little statements like that, right? It has meaning to it. It's like, okay, it's time to roll the movie, right? Like, this is all a movie. Like, y'all studied Don and Candace Wells so much. Y'all studied the heck out of them, and y'all are just repeating it. And it's kind of like when the hot car thing came popular, when people just didn't want the kids anymore. Just leaving a hot car, trigger warning, right? Well, then when they started charging them for that, they had to find something else to do. That's what I'm trying to say. That all these little things have meaning, right? And I feel like that's going to come back to get them because it's going to give them the answers they need to make the arrest. I'm surprised they're not already in there. I figured they'd be in there right after the first of the year. I figured that's when it was going to pop. If they didn't do it for the holidays, they would do it right after. But grand jury people, all them people, take time. They have to produce enough evidence. They have to produce enough footage, video footage, something to show the reason they say he was last seen in the early hours of the 26th. They have some kind of video that shows that child, or either he being carried out, either him out in the car like poor Maddie was, like not awake, something. They have something somewhere. Or they have the parents not being where they said they were through some kind of tracking, some kind of phone ping, something. Either they went and tracked all the grandpa's phone and IPs and Comcast and they busted them. Somehow, some way, I think they got him. And I think it's coming. I pray it's coming. I mean, it's still not going to get us any closer to finding them. We still have to keep our searching up. And like I said, shout out to Silver's on the Scene. I got your emails again today. I'm going to create my maps and I'll send them to you. You can tell me what you think and then we'll go from there. But I do keep my stuff on the low and he knows that. So it'll be an in and out, quick search. I don't mess around when I get in there. I get it done and get out. So, guys, we got to get some answers for this young man. We have to. They hold the key to the mystery, to the vanishing of this young man. And Sebastian William J. Rogers needs justice. Sorry, he needs justice. If that means arresting all four of them, if that means arresting 10, I don't care. Just get something done. Because we're still going on almost a year. God, it's heartbreaking to think that long this poor child's been there somewhere. Just laying there, most likely. So heartbreaking. I pray to God he's not. I pray he's in a house somewhere, but in Alaska or somewhere. But there's so many remote villages in Alaska, guys, if y'all have ever been there. They don't have TV, they don't have newspapers. Whatever the plane drops in a couple of times a year is all they get. They don't have anything like that. They don't know what's going on in the world. So yeah, it's possible. I've always thought that since the beginning that that's a possibility. Because they left right afterwards. But all we can do is pray. I think something's coming. I think the landfill and the court hold the key. I think Sebastian was going to testify and that man was going to go down and he was going to get locked up and he was going to be so embarrassed, lose faith, never get to have his child, and he just couldn't bear it. And they did what they did. But I still think they did it together. I don't care what anybody says. I think they did it together. Kathy was at that house with Katie's phone. Terry was at that camper with Chris's phone. They were in different cars. They weren't in their own cars. They planned this out, guys. It just didn't happen on a whim. It was planned. Like they say, the Last Supper, whatever you want to call it, yes. The party and the fun, the whole time taking them to game rooms, doing all this, that was all for a reason. Because that's not what she did every weekend. I know good and well they didn't do that every weekend. If you say you did, prove it. And you didn't search one day. You did not get off your ass. I don't think the mother's ever searched one day. I don't think she ever got off her ass and done anything. He didn't either in the beginning, besides ghost him. And then go stay at a kid's park without Sebastian. Wow, unless they got another camper there and he's hidden at that damn campground. Who knows? There's no telling with them what they've done. I just know that when you don't search for your child, like everybody said in the beginning, you don't search for something when you know where it is, right? I believe that. At first I thought this kid might have run away from the abuse. But then when the more I thought about it, being such a special young man and autistic and, needing extra attention and extra care, they just didn't want to give him that. He was in the way to them. He was a burden to them. And they should have just gave him to Seth. And then we wouldn't be doing any of this. And he would be fine. And Chris would be in jail. CPS, they would have got him, I'm telling you. And then when Seth would have found out about it, which they hid it from him for a while, but when he'd have found out about it, oh yeah, it would have been a different ball game, and they know that. That's why they didn't tell him anything. I still don't know how they didn't let the father know. That should have been done through court papers, child custody papers. He should have been notified, even by mail. Somehow he should have been notified. So whoever didn't notify him should be fired, in my book. But I don't know, guys. Just keep up the good work. Keep up the fight. Keep up. We got to get justice for this young man, just like all of them. There's so many that's vanished. Emma Bum vanished. Harley Morris vanished. Summer Wells vanished. And I think the prophets copied exactly what happened, what Candace and Don did. It looks to me like they did. I think they've been on YouTube a long time. I really do. And they had a master plan from the get-go. I hate to say it, but I believe they did. And it's really sad, right? It is really sad, guys. But it's truly heartbreaking. But anyway, y'all have a good night, guys. We love y'all. It's almost 20 minutes. They take forever to load. I'm going to do my best to get this load tonight. I think I fixed the problem, I hope. But we'll see y'all tomorrow night for a long one, guys. I kind of broke down at 18 minutes apiece what I figured tonight to get the 2 videos done and get back to work. So tomorrow night, though, I'll be able to do a longer one. So y'all be good. Y'all be safe, guys. Remember, allegedly, these are my opinions. All my theories, my speculations, not to reflect the channel. Y'all's comments, y'all's and y'all's alone, not to reflect the channel. We do our research together. We're a big family. Trigger warning times 100 million. Justice for Sebastian Rogers. Justice for Sebastian Rogers. We got to get that. Lock them up, I say. Throw away the key. All right, guys. Be good. We love y'all. Bye.